Welcome to Real Health with me, Karl Henry. Folks, it's another one of our questions episodes. On Instagram, every single week we do a Q&A where we get hundreds and hundreds of questions in. We pick some of the most popular questions that we get and we bring them into studio where JJ and myself shoot the breeze with all the questions and all the answers and general kind of content around health and wellness. Around now, we're absolutely seeing a trend looking towards Easter holidays, summer holidays. There's some trends fitness-wise going around the country as well. They're coming in time and time again on the Q&As. So over the course of the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to shoot the breeze with these questions, have a deep dive into them and see what the answer is. So get your pen out, take some notes. Myself and JJ are going to get chatting. How's it going, JJ?
Good. What's the crack?
It's all good, dude. It's all good. We're kind of cruising through the year. We've got some really good episodes lined up today to record, which is great.
Yeah.
Life is good. Let's get cracking with some questions.
Roger that. So the first question, and this is one that I'd have personal interest in, is it's, Karl, what is your morning routine? What does the start of your day look like?
It varies, right? There's a couple of things. Okay, wait, I get up early is the first thing. So I am up around 5:30 on average.
Is that because you have kids or is that just regular
work?
Karl?
Yeah, that's work. And I've always been up early. When I was a kid, my dad had a gym in Dublin. We used to go into the gym for at the time, it was 7. So we used to leave, when we lived in Meath, so we'd be on the way in about 5:30. I'd be in school for 7:30. I'm just early. I've always been early. I like being early. So yeah, I get up at about 5:30. I won't eat a huge amount. As I get older, a cup of tea becomes a necessity. There's something just comforting, especially in winter when it's wild outside, just something nice with a cup of tea. And then I work for 3. I'll do 3 sessions before the school run, really. Then I'll come back in, do the school run. I cycle on the school run. I got a cargo bike.
Nice.
I love it. Oh my God, it's brilliant. It's all ahead of you, but it's fantastic. It is a really cool little thing. So the kids love it, but it's a 45-minute cycle. It's brilliant and it's heavy, right? So there's loads of hills. So that's part of my routine. And then I eat breakfast when I get back. So I'll eat breakfast around 9 mostly if that's my rhythm. The weekends are a little different, but then I'll have breakfast and get ready for the day. For my work perspective, from 10 o'clock onwards, I'll work with clients then, or corporate work or podcasts. Which that changes things a little bit, but that would be my normal routine. Weekends are a little bit different. We're still up early though, but I'll eat breakfast earlier, obviously. So I'll have breakfast around 7:30, something like that. I go for a run on Saturday with the Tri Club. I go for a swim on Saturday morning. I go for a swim on Sunday morning into Manway. So I get my exercise done early and then it's into family time for the rest of the day.
Okay, nice. And one additional question there is, if you're getting up at 5:30, what time are you going to sleep?
Early. I'm in bed normally, unless I get glued to Home with the Ear or the Restoration one or Dermot Bannon or something like that. Normally in bed around 9:30, 9:45. And at that stage we're floored, wrecked, absolutely wrecked.
Right.
I used to train late when I was younger, but now not so much. I try and train early-ish in the day to get it done and then into bed around kind of 9, between 9 and 10. If we're up beyond 10, this is how old we are, it's very late for us now at this stage because we're up so early. But that'd be kind of normal pattern, trying to read a little bit before I get to bed, into bed, and then I'd sleep right through most of the time. But that'd be normal kind of more, and I've always been kind of like that. For me, it's about time management, really, where years ago, you'd be do I train in the morning fasted for extra fat loss? Well, yeah, maybe, but actually now it's more about long-term time management and trying to squeeze as much into the days as possible. So a normal week where I'm at home, it's just PT, so that's my rhythm, and then I wrap up PT around 3, and then you're into kind of everything else after that. When we travel for podcasts, I'll come up the night before, I'll get up, I'll work, I'll go for a run, I'll get ready, I'll come into the studio. Or if it's corporate work, again, I'll generally stay close where the corporate event is on and then get up, run, work. So that's kind of the rhythm of it.
Right.
Morning person, always
Gotcha.
Have been. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Karl, I'm interested in Ozempic. I've put on 10 kilograms over the last year and a half. Should I take it?
Oh, I love the all Ozempic questions. And it's not just Ozempic, that's the first thing, right? There's a load of different weight loss medications. There's more of them coming. The second generation ones are, by all accounts, they're a little bit better. There's a couple of things here, right? So these medications all came from diabetics, type 2 diabetics needing them and getting really good results. And as a byproduct, losing weight. That's where they came from. Now we have an issue in terms of supply and demand because everyone seems to be on it. The challenge is that it's I think it's necessary for certain people over a certain weight profile or BMI profile. And BMI I don't really use anymore, but a weight profile is probably more to the point. Those who suffer from the disease of obesity, who have significant weight, excess weight, and significant, the important word there, will generally need assistance to lose that weight long term. Whether that is bariatric surgery, we've had Donald in, we've had Helen Heenahan in to chat about that, or whether it's through your GP, and that's the important word, remember, your general practitioner should prescribe this and work with you on it. You can buy it online and you can go solo if you want, but you have no one working beside you to mind you. That's a problem. So that's where weight loss medications are important for those who suffer from the disease of severe obesity and have a medical condition. That tends to be the second reason you'll need to get it through the GP to qualify for it. So if you have severe obesity and you have a condition that goes with that, they generally will prescribe this for you. The challenge is, we have people who are going on it who want to lose a stone. It's not for you.
Right.
It's just not for you.
Okay, so what sort of weight are we looking to lose?
You're generally looking for those who need to lose, say, in my 25 years of PT experience, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone, 8, 9, 10 stone. They're where weight loss medications come into assistance, because we know, and we've seen Donald O'Shea say this, and we will bring him back into the studio because I really want to have a chat with him, which is long term, we know the amount of people who keep that weight off is very low.
Right.
Who have significant weight loss. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4 stone to lose, you can do it. You can keep that off. If you lose it the right way, which is slow and steady, which nobody wants to do. No. They want to lose it fast. So by doing it properly, you can keep it off. Like we would see with our clients, we have a 70% long-term success rate for weight loss. If you come into me for weight loss, that's what we're working towards, is long-term weight loss.
Right.
So if you have a stone to lose, you don't go near them. The medication's it's not for you. It's not meant to be for you. If you have 2 stones to lose, not really. 3 stones to lose, you're getting towards the bracket where potentially it could be required. And that's the challenge, is who needs it. We see, and like we've seen articles written about it. We've seen Catherine's RT documentary about it. Everyone's on it. Like literally everyone's on it. But the issue with that is that there are side effects to it. So you have to weigh this up with your GP in terms of diarrhea, gastro, hair loss, skin issues. There's a tiredness. There's a load of side effects with this stuff.
Right.
Loads. So yes, you might lose a bit of weight, but there's a load of side effects. Yeah. If you're willing to do it properly and steadily, you won't have the side effects. It's just going to take you longer. So there is a chat to have with your GP. And again, people don't want to do that. They want to just buy it and take it and do it. But you do need someone to work with you on it. You need to really weigh up the pros and the cons, that question. And we see these questions on Instagram all the time. Like 10 kilos is what, 1.5 stone? 21 pounds, over 21 weeks to 25 weeks, you can lose that weight.
Yeah.
Depending on your actual, your stable weight. And the long-term success rate for that is high. If you go on a rapid weight loss diet, chances are you're regaining the weight. 1 in 10 will keep it off. And Donald's right when he says that. We've seen him say it several times. 1 in 10 people will keep the weight loss, metabolic adaptation. He's right for crash diets and fast, quick fix diets.
Yes.
He's not right for a long-term approach, which is what experienced PTs and dietitians will work on. We aim to lose it slowly and steadily. We can keep that weight off.
Yeah.
But so it's a tough answer to give to people, because they don't want to hear. They want to hear, I want to lose it quickly. We all know that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
It takes time. Medication has side effects. The other issue with that is it's lifelong medication. It is lifelong. You go on it, you're on it. That's it. It's like blood pressure tablets. You're on them. It's very hard to come off them. Very few do. So weight loss medication is exactly the same. You're on it. And once you're on it, you're on it. And there's a cost issue associated with that. Then it's expensive, between $150 and $300 a month. So there's a lot to weigh up here from people listening in. If you are, I know this is a soapbox thing now, but if you are thinking about it, there are pros and cons to weigh up. You need to really think about it. It can't just be another quick fix solution. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, I think people are thinking, oh, I just take the tablet and I lose the weight, but that's not it.
Because that's what they see, right? They see, we saw it with the Oscars this year, it was bonkers. And it was all the reports around it was just like how slight everybody was. And they really were when you looked at them.
Yeah.
And that's because they're all on Ozempic. But there are side effects, and that's the non-glamorous side. And we haven't seen enough about that. We haven't seen people who are doing documentaries and programs and whatever. We need to be educating people on the pros and the cons. There are loads of side effects, and so you really have to weigh it up that it has to work for you. And then obviously, if you have severe obesity, bariatric surgery is another option. Going to Turkey is not the way to do that. It's going through a GP. The referral list here is long, or you go privately, but you do it here. Because here it's controlled, and you have a team of people working with you when you go into that environment, which is really important. Jumping on the flight to Turkey is not a great solution for that, because you're on your own, and that's a problem.
Yes, absolutely. And the next one, so I'm going away for the Easter holidays, and I don't want to put on any weight. I've worked really hard, and I don't want to have no fun on my holidays.
Holidays are for fun. Life is for living. All right. So, very common thing. We see this with all the holidays. People get really worried about it. If they've lost weight or gotten fit, I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, first of all, right, it's 1 to 2 weeks out of your life. What do you do? Like, that's the first thing. You should have fun. Real wellness, and from a weight perspective, real weight loss is having a window to go between from like your low weight, which might be for the crack 12 stone, and say 12 stone 4 or 5. So you have a window of weight to operate between, and when it goes to 12.5, that's after the holiday. Potentially you put on a little bit of weight over the holiday, and you tighten it back up, and it comes back to 12 stone. And that's why measuring is really important, and knowing we should all know our weight for 90% of the population. But if you are on holidays and you want to stay fit, first thing is get it done in the morning. You're not doing it in the afternoon or the evening. You're just not. Life gets, particularly with kids, life gets in the way. So get it done in the morning. Secondly, map it out. So if you have a 2-week holiday, plan out. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to exercise, because no one really believes that. I'm going to exercise Monday every day at 8 o'clock for an hour. Sold. I've agreed that with my partner. Sold. Okay, you're going to do it then. An accountability partner is really handy. So someone you can text. And we do a lot of that with clients, and PTs do loads of that. And it's one of the reasons people think PTs are great. We're not. We just provide accountability, and that gives you motivation to do it. The buffet breakfast is always dangerous. No one needs to eat a big buffet breakfast of like 5 portions of whatever's really. But because it's there and it's all inclusive or whatever, you just naturally eat more. I just don't see why people just don't eat what they normally eat at home in a hotel. There's a psychology to it.
Yeah.
Just eat, like you just load up on like brown toast, scrambled eggs, eat what you kind of normally eat. But so you got to mind that. And then in terms of the treat meals, if you like, where there's alcohol and maybe some desserts and stuff, 1 a day, basically. And there's one big one, have to just know when that is, as opposed to going like, you know, going mad for like 5 or 7 days. That's a rough gist of it, really. Yeah. Like it's about balancing it out. Like wellness, you don't really switch it on and off. You just kind of integrate it into your life. And when you travel, it should be no different. And then allow for the fact that you are going to eat, you are going to put on some weight, and that's cool. Because you come home, you know what the number is. You just work it off over 3 or 4 weeks. That's balance, and that's how to do it. It's about balancing life out, and the Christmas is like that. Birthdays are like that. You know, weekend people get really stressed about that. It makes me really sad, because I think life is too short for that. Like you should be able to do all of that and not worry about it, because it'll come back to normal once the pattern of health that you have on a day-to-day basis is healthy and normal. It'll come back to normal. So yeah, have fun in the whole year.
And I have one addition to the buffet.
Oh yeah.
I have a French friend, and he always walks the buffet and sees what's there, and then decides, instead of bringing your plate around going, I like that. And he says all French people do the same.
If you watch this, I'm fascinated by the psychology of health, and I'm intrigued by it. From the moment you walk into the airport to when you get on the plane to when you go to the hotel, you sit back and you watch people. And like people loading up on Prosecco because it's there in the buffet breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning. No one does that. You know, like that just makes no sense. Or just you watch people go up, and they're going up like 3 and 4 times for portions of whatever. Like different kids are a little bit different, but like for adults, like surely we're better than that, and we're more aware than that, but we're not.
You would think that, yeah.
If you watch people, it's fascinating. It's just like, it's because it's there, they're going to get their value for money, and therefore they're going to have 1,500 to 2,000 calories at breakfast. That's mental. That makes no sense, but the psychology of it does, and it's really, it's like the car park psychology. You've ever watched people in a car park? They lap the car park to get closest to the door, even if they look and they see that it's full. they'll still lap it, even though they know the space is further away. And the psychology of health is really interesting. Like if I go, I'm great crack to travel with. If I go travel, like we park in like the furthest space in the car park where we have to walk a little bit further. We get the stairs in instead of the escalators on the travelators. Unless you need that travelator, there's no need for anyone to be on a travelator. Walk through the airport, move around, water before you get on the plane, water on the plane, because then you should be going to the toilet on the plane at least once. It helps to regulate your hydration, and then walk when you get off the plane. Am I a real, like, I'm a killjoy, really?
No. I think you said something there that reminded me of a book. There's The Comfort Crisis. It's a really interesting book, and they say that when presented with the escalators or the stairs, only 2% of people take the stairs, which is fascinating.
It's particularly after a flight.
Yeah,
like I find that so interesting. Like we came, we went to Vegas. Was it 2 years ago for you two? Yeah. So that flight back from Vegas to Heathrow is 10 hours. Like it's a long time sitting down. 3 movies, bit of a snooze, and you get off the plane in Heathrow, and like everyone just is queuing for the escalator, and you're like, the middle of the stairs in the centre is free, as in like there's nobody on it. And you're like, why? You've been sitting for 10 hours. Right. Even today, like when I come up for podcasts, I get the train up to Houston. I walk from Houston to here, or to if I have meetings in town or the hotel or whatever. I'll walk to it. I'll walk around town, walk to here, record, walk back to the train station. And like, you say that to people think you're mad.
Yeah, but being honest now, if I was hungover and I'm presented with that stairs option, I'm getting the escalators straight away. Yeah.
Like they're micro choices, and we've chatted like over the years. We've chatted about that. Like again, we bring up Atomic Habits. James Clear all the time talks about it, and he's made gazillions of money out of it. It's those micro choices, right? It's like. It's the buffet choice, making the right selection. It's having alcohol maybe at dinner as opposed to dinner and lunch. Like they're all micro choices, and they add up. They make a huge difference. Where and every now and again, it's okay, like to get the escalator if you're hungover. That's kind of normal. But like 90% of the time, you know, and I met you in here, even coming in today. You were on the stairs. I was on the stairs.
Yeah,
you know, that's kind of what we normally do. Where like there's 3 lifts in here.
Yes, yeah.
People use the lifts all the time.
Yeah, even going down. Okay, so final question. Doing the Camino later this year, any tips? I suppose they're afraid of repetitive strain injuries and such.
The Camino, we're doing a trip this year. We've 80 odd people coming with us in a few weeks. Really interesting. A, I can't wait. But B, it is okay. First things first, you need to train for it. For most people, right? Rocking up with the Camino with your brand new boots and your brand new jacket and your brand new bag is a bad idea, because it's going to hurt a lot in loads of ways. So first of all, you give yourself about 3 to 4 months training up to it. 1 long walk a weekend and a walk or 2 during the week, and you build your long walk up. The Camino is in the last part of it. It's about 115k over 5 days, so there's a decent bit of walking in that. The second thing, if you have any concerns, you preempt them. So you go to a physio for a once over and say, check me out.
Okay.
And because that's, if you have any concerns, they're going to flare up. So why not just go straight to it and get them checked? No new gear, probably 4 weeks out. So train in the same boots that you're going to walk in.
This is for blisters and such.
Yeah, blisters and comfort. Absolutely. Right. Same with rain jacket. Any of that kind of gear. 4 weeks out, you want nothing new from then on in, because otherwise it's just not. It's just too fresh. You're going to increase the risk of blisters. Or chafing, or bloody nipples and stuff like that, just sore stuff, and just ruins the enjoyment of it. When you are there, bring some Compeeds, always a good option just to have them in your backpack. Vaseline is brilliant. We should all have shares in Vaseline because it's brilliant. Because you just rub it anywhere that could rub on your body. Put Vaseline on it. It will stop the chafing, and bring it with you. Even if you find during it that your feet might be a bit sore, rub it on it. It's really good. And bar that, enjoy it. Like it's a huge Irish thing, not just Ireland, but particularly Ireland. People love it. Once you've done the training, you'll enjoy it and take it at your own pace. Bring the Compeeds and book a massage at the end of it, maybe when you get to Santiago, because most of the operators will give you a day or 2 there. So book something there for a bit of downtime. And
if you're gym training versus outdoor training, what machines would you advise? You can add some strength
work in. Absolutely you can. So you can have a look at my Instagram page. There's loads of stuff there at Karl Henry PT. We do loads of reels for that kind of thing. But lower body work is brilliant. Leg extension, hamstring curl, squats, lunges, wall squats, bit of core work. The backpack piece is interesting. Go get fitted for your backpack and go get fitted for your shoes. Don't just buy them off a website. Go into a store who specialise in shoes, like Great Outdoors, 53 Degrees North, the Columbia store in Dublin, Base to Race, any of those, and they will fit you for the shoes first of all. Because don't forget, your feet swell. So as you walk, your feet will swell by at least half a size if you walk over like a long distance. So you need space in your shoe just for your foot to get bigger, basically. And the backpack is really important. You want one with double clips. So one clip up at the chest and one clip at the waistline. Because the idea of the clips is they form a framework with the side of the backpack that holds it in place and takes a lot of the weight of the backpack.
Okay.
I know it's really,
I didn't know that.
This is the age I'm at. But like, it's even my backpack that I bring for podcasting, it's got double clips. So it supports all the weight of the backpack. It's brilliant. And it takes a huge amount of pressure off your back. If you have the wrong backpack, that's not great. You need to have it fitted, adjusted properly. Like if you watch, school children are classic examples of this. Although they've less books to carry now because of iPads. But in my day, you'd watch people going to school, and the backpacks would be down at their arse, like straps. You know what I mean? And you can just see it didn't look right. But again, if you look at people and trains and stuff, a lot of them still do that. Like, but the backpack needs to be fitted. Go into a store, try it on, get the person in there to try it on with you, adjust it with you, put all the straps in the right place. It'll transform the walk. It just makes it so much more comfortable, and it makes a big difference. Rain gear is important. You can get rain covers for your backpack if you don't want to get a poncho. So just bring a rain jacket, and then get a little rain cover for the backpack. Like Decathlon do them as well. They're brilliant. And bar that, enjoy it. But just put the work in first. That's what I would say. It's that a lot of people don't do that and then really struggle with it.
Right. You know, I have a hard time of it.
Well, it's a tough. It's up and down. It's 115k in 5 days. There's a decent bit of walking in that.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is you've nothing else to do. And again, like our own trip and most trips, the same. You're dropped off at say like 9. You have till 5 o'clock to get to the point of return where the bus picks you up and brings you back to the hotel. So like you've plenty of time. But enjoy it would be the answer, really, because put the work in and enjoy it. But nothing new close to the event, close to the day of when you start. That's really, really important.
Perfect. That's our lot.
Amazing. Folks, as ever, keep your questions coming in on my Instagram account at Karl Henry PT. If you have any specific questions for the podcast or episodes you would like us to record, don't be afraid to send us an email, realhealth@independent.ie. We are on the Irish Independent website and wherever you get your podcasts. As always, don't forget to rate and review. It makes a big difference to our numbers, to our figures, and our chart rankings as well. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Slán go fóill.